Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
I saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Here's something that might leave you speechless. Sean Diddy Combs, one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment world, is now sitting in a cold, stark prison cell, placed under self-harm watch as more shocking revelations about his alleged behavior continue to surface. It's hard to believe, right? Just a few years ago, he was hosting extravagant parties, flying on private jets, and living in multi-million-dollar mansions. Now, the man who seemed untouchable is fighting for his life and reputation. But here's the thing, this might not come as a surprise to some, especially to those who follow the whispers surrounding Diddy's life for decades.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
Diddy's current situation is as intense as it gets. He's been placed under self-harm watch in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a notorious prison known for its brutal conditions. Multiple sources have confirmed that this move was a precaution taken in the early days of his incarceration. And it's no wonder going from his life of luxury to being locked in a small, cold cell would shake anyone to their core. But it's not just the physical confinement that's getting to Diddy, it's the avalanche of accusations that have surfaced against him. Accusations that paint a dark and disturbing picture of a man who allegedly abused his power for decades.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who...
Before diving deeper into these recent developments, let's take a moment to break down how we got here. Diddy, or Sean Combs as he's legally known, is currently facing a number of serious charges, including racketeering and allegations of misconduct that date back over a decade. He has, of course, pleaded not guilty to all charges. But it's not just the allegations that are shocking, it's the conditions in which he's being held. The Metropolitan Detention Center is notorious for its grim environment. Former inmates, including high-profile ones like R. Kelly, have described it as nothing short of hell on earth. One former warden even commented that Diddy's celebrity status and the nature of the charges against him make him a prime target for assault by other inmates. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. The facility is understaffed with only 76% of the required officers on duty, making it even harder to ensure safety.
I've had clients describe MDC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
Diddy's attorneys have been vocal about the poor conditions at this facility. They've described it as horrific and unfit for pretrial detention. His legal team, including high-profile lawyers Mark Agnafilo and Tenny Argeragos, have been fighting tooth and nail to secure bail for him. But so far, 2 Manhattan judges have denied these requests. One judge even questioned whether Diddy, with his immense wealth and resources, could be trusted not to interfere with witnesses or obstruct justice if he were released. They've argued that he should be allowed to await trial in the comfort of one of his mansions, but prosecutors aren't buying it. They believe that given the seriousness of the charges and Diddy's history of alleged intimidation, he poses too much of a risk to be set free.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The comparisons being drawn between Diddy and another infamous figure, Jeffrey Epstein. The parallels are hard to ignore. Both men used their vast power, influence, and wealth to allegedly manipulate and control those around them, creating an atmosphere of fear and secrecy. Epstein's story shook the world when details of his dark and secretive life came to light.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
And now, many are wondering if Diddy's downfall will follow a similar trajectory. For years, rumors about Diddy's behavior have circulated in the industry. There were always whispers about how he ruled with an iron fist, how people feared crossing him, and how he had an explosive temper. But until now, none of it ever seemed to stick. He seemed untouchable.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
But when you look back, the signs were always there. One of the most famous moments that hinted at Diddy's volatile nature was during the height of the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry. Diddy was at the center of it all, with his Bad Boy Records empire going head-to-head with Suge Knight's Death Row Records. The tension between the two labels culminated in the demises of 2 of the biggest names in rap, Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. While no direct connection between Diddy and the demises of Shakur or Biggie was ever proven, the fact that his name was even brought up in such a context speaks volumes about the kind of world he was operating in.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes.
Let's not forget the countless stories from those who've worked with Diddy over the years. Take the example of R&B singer Cassie Ventura, who filed a lawsuit against Diddy in 2023, accusing him of years of manipulation and abuse.
Controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
Cassie's claims, which Diddy has vehemently denied, included explosive allegations about how he controlled her life and career, subjecting her to humiliating experiences. While that lawsuit was settled out of court, the fact that it even happened at all adds to the growing mountain of allegations against him. And she's not the only one. Since that lawsuit, other women and even some men have come forward with similar stories of manipulation, coercion, and fear.
With this newest lawsuit, this would probably only expedite or increase the amount of allegations and potential witnesses who could testify against Sean Combs.
So why is all of this coming to light now? Many experts believe that the tide is finally turning in the entertainment industry. The days of powerful men being able to hide behind their money and influence are slowly coming to an end. We've seen it with Epstein, we've seen it with Harvey Weinstein, and now it seems like Diddy's turn has come. People are no longer staying silent. And the fact that these allegations have been building over the years makes it clear that this isn't just an isolated incident. This is a pattern of behavior that has been allowed to continue unchecked for far too long. But what's truly staggering is the level of control Diddy allegedly wielded behind the scenes. According to various sources, he didn't just run his businesses, he controlled the people in his life with an iron grip. From employees to artists signed under his bad boy label, there were whispers that nothing happened without his say-so. It wasn't just about running an empire, it was about maintaining absolute control, both professionally and personally.
Complete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his home.
Many insiders have even hinted that Diddy had fixers on payroll whose only job was to clean up his messes, keeping damaging information from leaking to the public. If these fixers truly existed, it would explain how some of his alleged misconduct stayed hidden for so long. This paints a picture of a man who wasn't just ruthless in business, but willing to go to extreme lengths to protect his reputation. Some fans, however, have their own theories. One popular comment floating around online reads, "His contract with Satan is up and the enemy is collecting." It's a wild claim, but it highlights the fact that there's a certain mystique surrounding Diddy. Some believe that his success and power came with dark consequences, and now he's paying the price. Others are far more straightforward in their opinions. One commenter bluntly said, Diddy should have been in jail 25 years ago. This sentiment echoes the frustration of many who feel that Diddy has managed to evade justice for too long.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
And then there's the impact this is having on his family. Diddy is a father to 7 children, and reports suggest that they're struggling to cope with his incarceration. According to sources, Diddy has been desperate to speak to his kids, especially his younger ones, who are reportedly having a hard time understanding why their father has suddenly disappeared from their lives. His legal team has mentioned how concerned he is about his children's well-being, and he's been allowed brief phone calls with them. But it's clear that the situation is taking a toll on the entire family. What's even more chilling are the reports about the treasure trove of evidence that prosecutors have uncovered. Some of the most damning pieces of evidence are said to include videos of Diddy's infamous freak-off sessions, where individuals were allegedly coerced into participating in activities that lasted for days. These videos, if they exist, could be the nail in the coffin for Diddy's defense. Prosecutors are reportedly building a case that could see Diddy spend the rest of his life behind bars, and they believe they have enough evidence to make that happen.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
As this case continues to unfold, more and more questions are being raised about the culture of silence that surrounded Diddy for so long. How was he able to keep people quiet for so many years? Why did it take this long for the truth to come out? And most importantly, what will this mean for the future of the music industry? Will other powerful figures face similar scrutiny? Only time will tell. The media circus around Diddy's case is only growing, with new details emerging almost daily. And it's not just the mainstream outlets that are covering the story. Fans and critics alike are taking to social media to share their thoughts, theories, and opinions. Some are expressing shock, while others claim they saw this coming years ago. One thing is for sure, this story is far from over, and the consequences for Diddy could be life-changing. As we look ahead to Diddy's upcoming trial, one can't help but wonder what kind of defense his legal team will mount. They've already tried and failed multiple times to secure his release on bail. The next court date is fast approaching, and it's likely that we'll see even more bombshell revelations between now and then. The question on everyone's mind is, will Diddy be able to clear his name, or is this the beginning of the end for one of the most influential figures in hip-hop?
No, not only should he have apologized to Kathy in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
Diddy's life was once filled with glitz, glamour, and unimaginable wealth. Now he's confined to a prison cell, his empire on the verge of collapse as more victims come forward and more evidence is uncovered. It's a stark contrast to the image he's cultivated for decades. But as the walls close in, it's becoming harder and harder for him to escape the consequences of his actions. And this leads us to the final burning question: has Diddy been able to live above the law for all these years? Or was it only a matter of time before the truth caught up with him? What will this mean for the industry he helped shape? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned as this story develops.